What's up, everybody? You're listening to the one and only T-Mac Inspired Podcast. Listen as she sits down with regular people to discuss the ideas, the opportunities, and the wealth building strategies that they're taking advantage of so the rest of us can do the same.
Tasha, my girl.
Hey, Sis Shaneka. Everybody says, is her, what is her name? I said, it's not Sis. Like, it's not. Why does she let everybody call her Sis? Let us know. Why you let everybody call you Sis?
Well, it originated because I am in the Nation of Islam, and we refer to all of our sisters as Sis and then their name. So it started there, actually. And I just cut sister off, and I just started going by Sis Shaneka. And everybody just started calling me Sis, like that was my first name, and it just took on. Everybody just refers to me as Sis, so I'm Sis.
Yes, but you have that persona anyway. Like you're real down to earth, where it's easy for people to call you Sis. They don't even know you.
Yeah, and I try to exemplify that, if you will. I really try to be like a sister to everyone that I meet, so it actually fits.
Good. I don't know if your mic is too far away, but you sound like you're far away from us right now.
Okay. I try to work on that. Maybe I'll just speak up.
All right, that's cool, right? Yeah, that's cool. So let me tell you what happened, girl. So you know how we do. We're busy, busy wives, mothers, all that. So I'm scrolling, I'm hardly ever on Facebook, but I'm scrolling on Facebook a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and I saw where you did some type of deal, and it was like, wasn't a normal deal that you do. You might post a normal deal, but this was like a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So, for people that don't know that you're in real estate, because that's how we met.
Yep,
we met. I think I came to your Wired event.
Yep, you came to my event, and then I came to your event.
Yep, and you've just been killing it in the real estate game. So I want you to talk about this deal first. Talk about the deal. Okay,
so I just closed on a multi-million-dollar deal. It's the biggest deal that I've ever done to date. So it's a mobile home park, but converted it into an RV park. For those in the listening audience that don't know, RVs is more like a luxury niche, like people who travel in their RVs and they need places to go and park their RVs and stuff like that. So, and if you don't know, for every mobile home that your park either has or is zoned for or approved for, you could put 4 RV lots for every mobile home lot. And so my mobile home park, that part. So my mobile home park is only zoned for 35 mobile homes. So 35 times 4, you do the math, that's 140 RV lots that I can get there. So I am 10x in my, my cash flow power. So I acquired the deal via creative financing. So I got it. It was kind of like a hybrid deal. So I know, but for the listening audience, so I used one technique called Sub 2, and I mixed that in with seller finance on the back end as well. I don't want to get too technical into that, but so it's a hybrid deal. So I end up coming out of the deal with only, with closing costs and everything, a little over $10,000 out of my pocket, that I acquired this, huge 12-acre mobile home park, $10,000 out of pocket, including closing costs, 0% interest, no credit used, no bank used, no income verification, any of those things that you typically would have to go through to get from a traditional mortgage lender. I avoided all of that using creative strategies. And that's just the power of, real estate and learning different techniques with investing. So once it's all said and done, it's going to cost about $1.5 million to develop the whole park. But the key component to that is the large percentage of that development is septic installation. And I'm a licensed septic contractor. So my company will actually get $800,000 out of that $1.5 million because we're going to install our own septic. So that's pretty cool. And once it's all said and done, the park will generate roughly around $80,000 per month passive cash flow. And I'll have a valuation moderately around 6 million. So I'll be able to do a cash out refi and pay my lenders off, pay my seller off the balloon payment that I'm going to owe him in a couple of years, pay my lenders off, and then I'll be able to pocket around 3 million tax-free money, guys. So I'm excited. I'm excited for
it. You should be. I'm excited for you too. Now you know we like I got chills all through my body right now, right? Because we get off on this type of stuff.
I swear we do, yes.
And believe it or not, even though we have platforms where we help other women, and I think you help men and women in real estate.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that can understand real estate at this level.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and I really believe personally, commercial real estate is easier than residential.
Yeah, but I've always heard that, and this is like my first venture into that side of the world, and so far it's proven to be correct.
You could be more creative, number one, and then the appraised value on commercial real estate is totally different from residential.
Yep.
So it's totally based on vacancies or occupancies, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because you did say, we got to talk about a lot of stuff in this story that you just told me, but you did say that your appraised value will be like 6 million.
Yeah. And so that's based off of the cash flow, of course, that it generates. And they'll based on what my developers, and that's kind of on the low end, but based on what he's planning, he said I should be around 70% NOI. So based off of that, that's where that number comes from. So, and the NOI could actually be a lot higher because I won't have that much overhead. Like my developer is really dope. And plus I'll have some other things that I'm going to implement to offset a lot of my overhead and generate even more cash flow. Because the property is actually back right against water. Like it's some woods, and then right behind the woods of my property is water access. So hopefully after we get the survey done, it'll prove that I'll be able to build a boat ramp back there. And then I can start leasing like jet ski rentals and stuff like that. So that's the idea. That's the plan. So I plan on, doing some other things to generate even more cash flow from the property. So.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. For people that don't know what NOI means, that's your net operating income.
Yep.
Net operating income. That's big your NOI is really, really big when it comes to commercial. I mean, that'll make or break a deal.
Yep.
So, but I wanted to let's talk about this septic tank deal here.
Yeah.
Come on, sis.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, for you listening audience, let me tell you a little bit something about me. Like I will, put this wig on, honey, get this makeup done, these nails, and dress up and all of that. But I will put them work boots on. I will put my work gloves on, and I will get dirty. And I don't mind. I don't mind that aspect of real estate investing because it's just fun to me. So, I mean, everything about this stuff is exciting to me, and I'm just one of the type of people. I just got like a free spirit. So one day I might decide to be a septic installer. One day I might decide to get a fucking pilot license. Can I post on your podcast? I'm so sorry. One day I might decide I want to be a pilot, but that's just how I am. That's how I operate. But I'm trying to be more linear when it comes to real estate investing. So once I decided that I wanted to invest in mobile homes here in North Carolina, where I am, a lot of the mobile, and we're number 4 in this. North Carolina is number 4 in the country as far as in terms of the size of mobile homes that are here, the number of mobile homes that are here. So we're pretty, we have a lot of mobile home parks and a lot of mobile homes in our state. And most of them are located in rural areas where they can't tap into city water, city sewage. So they have to have septic tanks. And even a lot of the housing developments have to have septic installed, or they can't build a house. And that's just the fact of the matter. So, so that's what kind of led me into the septic install business, if you will. So I went and got licensed, I think last year. And I mean, that's getting ready to be major. I mean, our first project, of course, is going to be our own project. But out, from that point on, if you call around to get a septic installed or even plumb, I mean, you guys will see how much it costs to get it done. And a lot of them are backed up because I mean, the demand is very high and it's low. It's not a lot of installers out there, especially installers of color. It's just not a lot. Like when I went to I just went to the septic conference in January, and I took a picture. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm in a room full of white men. I mean, it don't bother me none in terms of, I mean, I don't feel intimidated or anything like that, but it's just to look around and see that it's not a lot of us in the building. And so we had like a town hall meeting, and what they were addressing, like what can we do to get more septic installs because the demand is so high. So of course, I stood up and I'm like, look around the room. It's not a lot of minorities in this room. So if you want to get more installers, maybe you guys should focus more so on getting that information out to the Black community, because it's not that we wouldn't be interested. Most of us, it's not even on our radar. Like we either don't know or it's just not on our radar that this is even a possibility. Even though some of us, like I grew up in a mobile home, and I know when my mom bought our mobile home, we had to get a septic install. I knew that as a little girl, but it just never registered in my mind that I could install, septic tanks. Like it was just never registered on my mind. And it's a very lucrative industry, guys. It's very lucrative, especially in some of the northern states. Like for us here in North Carolina, the same septic tank system that we would install for, let's say, $25,000, you go to up north, New York, Pennsylvania, areas like that, they're charging $50,000-$60,000 for the same exact system. So it's a very, very lucrative industry and very high demand, and it's not a lot of us in the industry.
For sure. I had a mobile home with my first marriage. We got a mobile home and we had to have a septic tank installed, and we had to wait a long time because they were backed up. Yeah. And that was way back in like 94.
Yeah. And it's still that way. It's still that way today.
And that's in South Carolina, by the way. That was in South Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
Right. I'm from Carolina too.
Yeah. I forgot South Carolina. You're right up the street.
Yeah. So it's a huge demand. Let me ask you about the how did you find that deal?
Actually, the way it originally came to me was from a wholesaler. And of course, I started off I still wholesale, but I started off as a wholesaler. A wholesaler brought me the deal. But what ended up happening, unfortunately, they kind of dropped the ball on the deal. And the week of closing that I was supposed to close on it, they reached out to me and was like, our contract expired. The seller isn't talking to us. He's not willing to extend the contract. I'm sorry, there's nothing more we can do. And I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me. Like, we are 3 days from closing. I was so upset. But because I come from a wholesale background, I knew how to handle that situation. So I called my attorney, let him know what was going on. And he said, listen, go to them and get a cancellation of contract so that you don't have to pay them that $20,000 assignment fee anymore. I got the cancellation contract for them. Once they sent me that contract signed, I got on that phone. I called that seller myself. We talked for 3 hours. He was, he's an elderly gentleman. Talked for 3 hours. I got that deal back, and I drove my behind 3 hours down the road to go sit with him and get that contract signed myself in person. I was not getting ready to lose that deal because I already knew what the potential of it was.
Whoa, wow. See, that's what a lot of people still talk about, wholesaling. Listen, I didn't start out wholesaling, but I'm going to say within 2 to 3 months of me getting into real estate, I started wholesaling. And wholesaling has always been one of those go-to tools in my toolbox.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but it teaches you so many transferable skills that you can use in other areas of real estate investing. Like I tell people, like, to me, I mean, I started there, but it gave me a solid foundation that I was able to use, use that as building blocks to learn other aspects of real estate investing. It teaches you negotiation skills. It teaches you how to, even though this deal came from a wholesaler, but it still teaches you how to source your own deals. You don't have to rely on a realtor or someone else. And, once it gets to that point, your price is already inflated a bit. So when you can source your own deals, you can basically write your own checks.
You can, for sure. So now, we kind of got ahead of ourselves because we were so excited to talk about this deal. I was excited. I wanted to hear about it. So that's the cool thing I have in a podcast. If I see something, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I want to find out more. Tell me more. But before that, before real estate investing and all that, what were you doing before you got into real estate?
So directly before I got into real estate, I was doing Amazon. I was selling on Amazon actually. And I was a stay-at-home mom. I was homeschooling. I had an Amazon business and I was doing pretty good on there. I was doing 6 figures on there, but I was miserable. I was bored because for those of you who in the listening audience who may know, like once you ship your products into Amazon, it's pretty much run on autopilot. Like you don't have to do too much. I didn't have to talk to anybody. I didn't have to do customer service. They handle all of that for you. So the most interaction I had with adults was me going to the UPS store and giving them my packages for them to send in to Amazon and me leaving. So I'm at home all day with these children. I was miserable because as much as I'm an extroverted introvert. Mm-hmm. So I love being at home, but at the same time, I love being social. I love people. I love being around people. I just have to take a step back and recharge after I'm around a lot of people. But I was missing that side of it, that extroverted side of it. So that's when I started getting into real estate. But prior to that, I was in corporate America and I was miserable there too. I was miserable there too, y'all. I promise. And it wasn't so much that, like, I actually loved my job, but the what made it miserable for me was the fact that I had children. And it was almost like I call it the mom tax. I don't know if you know what that is, Tasha, but to me, it was like I was being punished for being a mom. Like when I would have to call in because one of the children was sick, or when I would have, I would miss a day, then I'm behind in work, and I'm being overlooked for promotions and things like that because I can't work through my vacations or I can't work through my sick days. Like I have to take all of them because I actually need them, because it's always, when your children are in daycare, they're always getting sick.
Right.
They're always getting sick. So if I want to go and, go to a parent-teacher conference, if I want to go to if I have to take them to the dentist, I have to do all that stuff during work hours because at 5 o'clock, all those places are closed. So I'm having to use all of my days to do that kind of stuff. I don't have vacation because I'm using those days to handle business with my children and stuff like that. And at one point, Tasha, I had moved to another state because I had a domestic situation that I had to get away from. And I would have to leave my babies at the bus stop in order for me to get to work on time. I wasn't making enough where I could afford before and after care, daycare. I wasn't making enough where I was making too much to get any type of, government assistance, but I wasn't making enough to make ends meet, that kind of threshold. That's where I was at. And I would have to leave my babies in a strange city with some strange people that could or could not, look out for them while I'm having to go down the road to this job. And then, they would get off the school bus and have to be in the house for, 30 minutes to an hour while I'm, trying to get through traffic to get back home to them. And at that point, I was like, I would pray every day going to like, please just protect my babies. I was so unhappy. I was so worried about my children. I was like, something got to give. And from that point on, that was back in 2013. I saved a little money. I stole what we call steal away. I didn't steal. That's not what that means. I just put a little money aside, until I started my own online boutique. And, I said, you know what? F it. I'm just going to go for it. I calculate how much money I'm making per day after taxes and after all this stuff that's coming out of my check. I'm like, shit, I can make. I'm sorry, I keep listening to the podcast. I can make.
How much was you making after you did all those deductions?
Tasha, I swear I was making between 150 and 175 a day or something. Look, peanuts, nothing. And I'm like, I can make this. If I can't make $150, $200 a day selling something, I ain't hitting on 2 cents. So that's what I started doing. I opened up an online boutique. I started selling Muslim garments, and that was in 2013. I ain't looked back yet. I'm not gonna say that I haven't struggled or anything like that, but I ain't worked on nobody else's job since 2013, and I never really did.
Wow. And how many kids did you have at the time? Because when I met you, you were pregnant. You had just had your baby.
At that time, I had 3. So when I started getting into real estate investing, actually the first month after I closed my first wholesale deal, I was pregnant with baby number 4. I found out I was pregnant with baby number 4 right after I started investing in real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I thought you had 5 kids.
I do. I have 5. I had another one since then. So I started in real estate like 3 years ago. So I had 2 babies in 3 years.
Yeah, but when I met you at Livewire, you just had a baby. Is that the 5th one?
That was the 5th one. That was Sasa.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sasa was 3 months old at that event. Yep. I had just had her. Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. So I know you're married because I met your husband. Y'all both came to our event. Is he in real estate with you? What does he do?
He does. He's more so focusing on the septic side and the mobile home moving company that we also started. So he's focusing on that. He just left his 9-to-5 in November.
Really?
Yep.
What did that look like?
Scary. More so for him because he's not as risk tolerant as I am. Like I just quit a job, I don't care. So, but for him, it was a little bit more scary because he's more of the, that provider type. He wants to make sure that he can provide and, pay out. We not that 50-50 type of couple. He's the I'm gonna pay 100% of the bills type of guy. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking for him, but I mean, we're happy with it. It's the best decision I think that we both could have made, and everything's working out fine.
I see. I'm excited. Look, when you start developing the mobile home part, I'm gonna come and we're gonna do a live podcast.
Oh yeah, that would be so dope. Please come. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna come bring my team, and we're gonna do a whole live podcast.
Okay, that's serious. I'm serious too. I would love that.
For sure. I'm excited. So I don't want to hold you up. I know you're super, super busy with all of your projects that you have going on. Tell me, what are you doing now? Are you teaching? Do you mentor? I mean, what are you doing?
I just opened up a mentorship here recently that I'm going to start at the end of this month. I probably won't do another one, to be honest, because I'm sure it's very time consuming. It takes a lot out of you. And for those of us, like yourself, we want to make sure that we're giving our mentees what they deserve and not just, we want to give guys the quality and the time and attention that you need. So I can only do like one a year. So this will be my one mentorship for this year, and that's going to be it. Aside from that, I do offer every now and again some courses and challenges and things like that. As Tasha, you may know, I'm very unorthodox. I don't do anything on a regular basis. I do I feel like it when I want to, because that's the power of entrepreneurship. That's the reason why I wanted to become an entrepreneur, because I am such a free spirit and I want to be able to do things on my own time. So that's what I do. So but yeah, if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can follow me on Instagram at Sis Shaneka, SISSHANEKA. And that's pretty much it.
I'm gonna put your handles below for your social media, and then when you get and also the mentorship link.
Okay, and also you can join my free Facebook group, Real Estate Investing A to Z, where we learn different aspects of real estate investing in there. Most of the courses in there are free, so you would feel free to come in there and take a look around and learn as well. So yeah,
I'll put the link to the free Facebook group as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. One thing before you leave, I want you to speak to the mom, the wife, who is sick and tired of being sick and tired on their job. They don't know
Yeah.
they want to start something new. They don't know where to start, what to do. They're tired of being reprimanded for taking time off because their kids are sick. I want you to speak to that lady right now.
So let me just say this. Being a woman in general is tough. Like we have a tough job. Being a mother and wife just elevates that to a whole nother level. I want all women out here listening to please stop trying to be Superwoman. Okay. I came to the acceptance that I cannot be everything to everybody. I just cannot. Something is going to, like, the mathematics don't add up. That don't add up. You cannot be 100% every single place. It's not going to happen. Something's going to fall short. And what I need you guys to understand and to accept is that that's okay. Okay. That's okay. It's okay. So what I started to do is I started outsourcing things that was very time consuming. I have 5 girls, all girls. They have heads full of natural hair. So I had to get somebody to come in and start doing their hair because my baby's walking around looking crazy because I just don't have time to do all this hair, things like that. Get somebody to come in and clean your house, once a week or once every other week or whatever you can afford. If it's once a month, whatever. Get somebody that you can go on Thumbtack and find somebody relatively inexpensive to come in and clean your house, however often that you can afford. Take some of that stuff off of you. It's okay. It's okay. Do not be out here trying to stress yourself out, trying to be somebody's Superman. Love yourself and practice self-care. I do self-care. I don't have a self-care Sunday. I go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Whenever I feel like it, I'm going to get some self-care because I have to recharge because being an entrepreneur, I have several businesses that I'm running. I have 5 children. I have a husband. I got family members that's pulling on me. My mama been calling me every day for the past 2 years, asking me when I'm going to retire her, y'all. And that was stressful. I don't know if she knew how stressful that was for me. I didn't let her know it, but that was stressful. So with this last deal I just closed, I said, you know what, mama? You retired, okay? You don't got to worry about it no more. Part of that monthly income that I'm going to be generating from that RV park is going straight to my mama. So she ain't got to worry about her retirement or any of that no more. I'm retiring my mama off that one deal.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yep. That's impressive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you
for having me. It was such an honor and pleasure. I've always admired you. I haven't said it directly to you. I don't believe I have, but I'll say it now. I've always admired you. You inspire me. You motivate me. I think you're a dope woman. And I just want to give you your flowers, if you will. You want to give? Don't
make me cry.
I know I'm about to. But I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Hey. Don't forget to follow me if you're not on all platforms at TMAC_inspired. All right. See you on the next episode. Bye.